It's got a soul, this hero farm. It falls asleep inside my arms. We work the fields under the stars. The love is here at Goldshaw Farms. A city life, yeah, it had its charms, but we would dream of the fields under the stars. I fall asleep inside its arms. The love is here at Goldshaw Farms. The love is here at Goldshaw Farms.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. It is the first Wednesday of the month, also the first Wednesday of the year, and it's time for another Goldshaw farm meeting. I'm your host, Morgan Gold of Goldshaw Farm. I'm really excited to be hanging out with you guys here tonight. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. This should be a very good session. I got a lot of things I'm planning on talking about with you tonight. I'm going to be, getting to your questions and really getting into it with you guys. This, by the way, this farm meeting is a first. This is the first time I've ever tried to simulcast a meeting between both YouTube and Facebook. And so I wonder how it's going to go. I hope it does well. It looks like as I'm watching the different streams, and you should look at my screen right now, there's like, a whole bunch of all sorts of activity going on right now. And I'm hoping that this works out well. Because I think the more the merrier, the more we can hang out. I hope this doesn't get too crazy. So stay tuned. Thank you, by the way, to all of my moderators, including Don from Little Mountain Life, and Carrie from Built on a Rock Homestead. You guys, the backbone of these things and being able to do these live streams is having these moderators, and so they make a huge difference. By the way, thank you guys as you give. I see stars coming in from Facebook and super chats coming in from YouTube. I really, really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get into it. So what I wanted to actually start talking about first is how things are going on the farm. And I don't know if you guys can see in the video that's just over my shoulder here. One thing you'll notice, and I'm putting out a YouTube video on this topic tomorrow, I moved the chickens from the brooder house to the hoop coop. So my geese and chickens are all living together right now. Oh, thank you, Christina, for that super chat. Good to see you, Christina, in the Pacific Northwest. I hope things are going okay for you. I know there's a lot of weather stuff going on, and so I hope things are doing well. But so I have moved all the birds into one spot together. It seems like it's going really well right now, and I'm super excited for it. And I think the thing that I have found over the last couple of weeks is keeping my birds in that hoop structure, like that hoop house structure, like the one that you're going to see right here, like on the right-hand side of the screen. It's become my favorite way to keep poultry. Hey, what's going on, Gary Lenz? Thank you for that. Good to see you, buddy. I'm assuming that's the same Gary that I know, that I work with. And the hoop coop it's been great because the birds are staying nice and toasty. They're out of the elements. They, at the same time, though, seem to be getting plenty of light. And so I think everybody seems pretty happy. And so it's going really well. That is the hoop coop. I'm seeing some calls. Chelsea's asking, Liam's asking, how's little barn cat doing? Little barn cat is doing great. She's actually napping right back here with me. She's a little cranky. They probably just woke her up. But no, she's letting me pet her. Here, come on, Lil. Say hi to everybody. She's right here. She doesn't like to be put on the spotlight all the time, but occasionally she will. Poor little Lil. Yeah, no, Lil Barn Cat is my constant companion here. And yeah, she's been doing so good. And, we're really lucky with her, right? Because, it was about 1.5 years ago that she had her car accident where she got hit by a car, and we thought she was going to die. But she has made a miraculous recovery, and she's doing great. So yeah, she's hanging out here. Her basically I know a lot of you guys know this. I work from home, and when I'm working, I'm usually working in the same exact spot. And that chair right there is reserved for Lil. People often comment when I'm in meetings, like, would you look at her? That cat is so adorable. She just hangs out there, and they're amazed with just how chill she is. And she is a very chill cat at this point. Okay, second question, I guess I should say, of the evening. Do you have plans for recipes for your dried meat? Yeah, so I have a couple of things I've been testing and working on over the last couple of months. And the dried meat business, which is actually going to be more biltong even than beef jerky, is going to be something that we start up probably in the fall, because of our cattle, we have one steer that's going to be going to the butcher in end of September. And so once that happens, we'll actually start making and issuing product. We'll also be producing product for using with duck and goose as well. So stay tuned for that one. Yeah, no, I'm super excited about some of the bigger stuff. I think 2022 is going to be a big year for our farm, and there's a lot going on and a lot of things happening. How's Toby Dog doing? Toby Dog Roman is doing great. He's outside as we speak. I actually, just before I came in here, checked on him, and he's pretty happy and content. He's actually hiding out in his little doggy house right now. He's doing good. Oh, wow. What's going on, Emma? Good to see you. Oh, so this hoop house was, so Christina's asking, this hoop house was supposed to be temporary. Do you still plan on changing the dimensions and setup? Yes. So Christina, this is a temporary one. And I do plan on actually taking it apart in the summer and putting in a newer, bigger structure. You guys will hear more about that later this year. More to come on that one. But yeah, there will be a newer, bigger one built. Thank you, Maya. And you know what? I'm actually going to be starting to probably start posting some of my stuff, some of the videos actually on LinkedIn. I've been testing it out a little bit, and I think it's working well. Wow, it's actually real. Oh golly, there's some, it's hard. Sometimes I get spammers in here, and so I'm trying to keep up with that too. That's where on YouTube, I actually have the moderators who can help me with that. Unfortunately, I can't do that on Facebook, and so it's a little more complicated. Okay. Hey, Weston, what's going on? I've always wondered, most poultry farmers don't keep Chinese swan on their farm. Why don't you? I actually prefer the breeds of geese that we have. So we have on our farm, we have Emden, Pilgrim, Toulouse, and Buff. Those are the main breeds of geese. And then we actually have some hybrids that have been springing up as well. And that's the breed that I've been focused on keeping on our farm. And honestly, I think that it's actually worked out pretty darn well for us. Chinese geese, I'm actually not a big fan of because I find them to be a little bit more aggressive. And so that's honestly at the core of why you only see sort of the breeds that we have. I want a breed of goose that's actually going to be friendlier and more low key and less aggressive, just because, look, I don't want to have to deal with, kind of some of the issues and hassles that come from those more aggressive geese. What the heck is biltong, Matt Schaefer? Okay. So biltong is a South African, it's a delicate, you might be able to consider like biltong the national food of South Africa. I'm not sure if it is officially, but informally, lots of folks in South Africa are huge fans of it. And so really, when I think about biltong, that to me is like a biggie in that it's air dried. So the difference is with beef jerky, you're using a lot of sugars, you're using a lot of salts, a lot of preservatives to preserve and flavor your meat. With biltong, you're really only doing like a light soaking in some herbs and vinegar, and then you're air drying it. And you actually do it in like a special cabinet. I've built a biltong dryer here on the farm, and I do it like on a hobby scale. That's how I've been testing out recipes. I'm not sure if I should announce it. Yeah, what the heck? I got, 1,300 of my closest friends hanging out here right now between YouTube and Facebook, so I might as well share this one. I actually am planning on buying a special biltong manufacturing cabinet to use for the business that we're going to be in. So that'll show up later this year. I'm actually in the process of importing it from South Africa. It's pretty complicated. Yes, Nikolai, update on the puppy. So the puppy is on its way. So she's going to be here at the end of February. I'm I'm going to actually be flying out to California to go pick up the puppy. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a really quick trip. I'm going to go out there, fly out there, bring her back with me, basically have her as a lap dog. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I haven't been to California in years. Actually, you know what? The last time I was in California, it was January of 2020. So, more than 2 years. So I'm excited to go back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali, back to Cali, back to Cali. So what type of chickens do you plan on getting this year? So Unlimited Ace, I got a confession to make for all the folks on YouTube. I've been actually also live streaming on Facebook a lot over the last couple of months. And a few months back, I went on, or it wasn't a few months, it was last month. I had Tom from Murray McMurray Hatchery come on, and he and I talked about chicks and chicken breeds and all sorts of good stuff related to that. And I ultimately put in an order live on the air, and it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited. In terms of that, we got Americanas, we got some Gold Stars, we got a Buttercup, we got I think a couple more Cochins. It's a mixed bag. I'll probably do a video on it in the spring when I'm getting ready for them. So, Sherry, the reason that Lil Barn Cat is actually an indoor cat, she's just not as mobile as she used to be. And for barn cats to live outside, they got to be able to kind of deal with the elements and live sort of in the rough and tumble. And Allison and I both felt like, look, she'd been through a lot and she had to deal with some tough things. And so, it was like one of those things. We want to just keep her safe. And honestly, I think it was the right decision. If she seemed unhappy, I think we might have actually reversed that decision, but she seems actually pretty happy, and she's been doing really well as an indoor cat, and she's pretty darn content. And so, yeah, we don't have any plans to make her an outdoor cat. Okay, what other questions we got here? So why did I choose Vermont to settle down, and did take any agricultural loss? Yeah, a little bit. I think, we chose Vermont because, number one, my wife and I were both from New England, but, Southern New England, but New England. And, we wanted to live somewhere where we were going to be, within, a couple hours of family. And so that ruled out places like Southern Virginia or, the West or something like that. And so that was a big part of it. We wanted to be within, easy driving distance where we could hop in the car and 2 or 3 hours later, be with our families. So that was one piece of it. And I think that plus we just like the landscape of Vermont. We had a lot of friends in Vermont. It's got a strong agricultural tradition here in Vermont. And so I think kind of all those factors are biggies for us and sort of why we opted to go the way we're going and how we ended up here. I mean, agricultural laws played into it a little bit, but not massive. So yeah. Oh, wow. Thank you for that super chat. Hold on. I'm trying to see who it is. JK. Thank you, JK. I really appreciate that. And JK's question is, how is Allison doing? Allison's doing okay. Just to be really honest and transparent with you guys, it is a really tough time for Allison right now. My wife, Allison, if you guys don't know the story, she actually works as a nurse practitioner. She's a nurse practitioner, but she works as a nurse practitioner in an emergency room. And so right now, with all the stuff going on with COVID and just, kind of the hospitalization rates and just the volume of activity, particularly in the rural hospital that she works at. She's actually working there tonight. She's not even at the farm right now. Basically, she's just been getting burned out. Like, she's had to work way more than she was supposed to. She's dealing with like some crazy shifts that she's having to deal with. And it's been tough. She's doing an amazing job and she's hanging in there, but it's not a tough time for her. I mean, it's not an easy time for her right now. It's, to be very honest, she's doing okay. She's her favorite hobby is skiing. And so she's in peak skiing season. So that's an upside, but her work stuff has been really weighing on her right now. So yeah, there you go. All right, so there's more questions. I got to keep up with this here. Okay, so thank you, Emily Bailey, by the way. And what veggies are you and your wife planning to grow in the garden this year? I think we're gonna probably do a lot of the same staples that we did this year. So a lot of kale, a lot of broccoli, a lot of spinach, a lot of tomatoes, a lot of peppers, onions. We got a whole bed of garlic planted. Herbs are biggies. Carrots were also a big popular one. Brussels sprouts were another successful one. Squash, zucchini, pumpkins. I think it's going to be kind of that same mix. I don't think we're going to do anything crazy or radically different. What's going on, Rose? Good to see you. Rose from Wholesome Roots, another one of our great moderators. Hey, how's it going, Kat Denson? I got to just stop and say this, guys. One of my favorite parts about doing these live streams is just how fun it is to see all of you guys and get to know you guys. I mean, between the live streams that we've been doing, kind of hearing kind of what you guys are wondering about and taking your questions, I absolutely love it. And so this has been one of my favorite things. Tony, I kick around the idea of potentially getting turkeys on the farm. I doubt I will ever get anything exotic. I don't see that as something that is really core to how I want to run the farm. So I don't expect that to happen anytime soon. All right. Oh, well, Mike, it's so funny you should say that. I am in the process. So right behind me, you see this desk and this little typewriter device on my desk. That's my writing desk. And I've actually just about finished the third draft of a children's book. It's not like a picture book, but it's think about it as a kind of same reading level as Charlotte's Web. And it's all about Toby arriving here on the farm and getting settled in as a new arrival at the farm and being the farm's new livestock guardian dog. And it's written from his perspective. He's the main character. And so, yes, that's something coming. My plan is to try to release it this year. I've been working on it for a couple of years. And 2022 is going to be the year of the Toby book. Guaranteed. Yes, guaranteed. Oli, this is a great question. I'm going to answer this by actually sharing a map with you. Hang on a second. Let me switch my screen view, though, because I think it's the only way I can do this. So let me bring up some pictures. And so if you actually look at our farm, here it is. Let me make this bigger. This is actually a map of our farm that you guys see right here. And, really in that top main pasture, it's like sandy loam. There's more wetlands and marsh and more clays in the forest part of the pasture. Or I'm sorry, not forest part, the forest part of the farm. So overall, that's kind of what it's starting to look like. But yeah, sandy loam would be the primary descriptor for the pasture portion and kind of how it's doing there. Oh, Christina sent another super chat. Thank you, Christina. In a video, you mentioned pork as a part of the dried meat business. Does this mean pigs are going to make their way to Goldshaw Farm? Yes. So, Christina, yes, I'm definitely considering it and adding a couple of pigs to the farm potentially this year. But please, guys, hear me say that and don't take that one to the bank. It's not guaranteed, but it's definitely something I'm thinking about. So yeah, there you go. Hey, what's going on? 13 Moons. And it sounds like my friends, the Naked Gardeners, are here too. Good to see you guys. Everybody's showing up tonight. This is so much fun. I can't believe it. So actually, let's see. So we got 600 people on Facebook and about 900 people on YouTube. That's amazing. I can't believe people actually are interested. The audio and video are not synchronizing right now. Uh-oh. I hope that's not a problem that I'm causing. Type a 3 in the chat if you're seeing the syncing issues that Piper Lely is seeing. Good to see you, by the way, Piper Lely. I actually think a strawberry bed is in our future, Marjorie. I think one of the things I want to try to install more of is more permanent infrastructure for having like uh, more perennial beds. So more asparagus, more strawberries, more blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, that sort of thing. Kind of all those things are definitely potentially in the works. So yeah, stay tuned with that. Yes, Kath, I am absolutely wearing a mask when I leave the farm. I don't leave the farm much these days. I go maybe like every once a week, every other week to town to go get like groceries and supplies and that sort of thing. And so yeah, that will be in the future. But yes, I always am safe. And yes, and actually, if folks are wondering, I'm vaccinated, boosted. I'm a big believer in those things, which I know not everybody is, but so be it. Oh, so Dewey, I hope I'm saying it, Dowie. Yes, I will be making more 360 videos. I don't know if you guys have seen this. And here, I'm actually going to bring it up. But I have been making 360 videos, and my plan is I'm going to start making 360 videos about once every, I'd say probably once a month. You'll see a 360 video coming from me. And it looks like, is everything slowing down for everybody else, or is it just me? Whoa, this is all getting weird. I don't know if you guys can see me, but I actually have this special camera. It's called a GoPro Max, and it has two lenses on it. So it has one lens on this side and one lens on this side. And basically, when I hook it on to like a tripod, I just kind of carry it around, and it records everything. And so when I make the video and post it up on YouTube, and so far I think I can only do it on YouTube, but pretty soon it might be coming to Facebook. It actually makes for a pretty interesting experience. Here, I'm going to share it with you. I hope this doesn't crash my computer, actually. I've got a lot going on here right now, so I apologize, guys. I might have girl boss too close to the sun here. But yeah, so you see how I'm like moving the camera around? And so the video actually lets you control the camera. But the even cooler thing is if you have like a virtual reality set, like especially we have like an Oculus here, and I go and I will watch this video. I'll rewatch it because it's so crazy to like actually be like completely enveloped into this world. And for me, because I actually like sort of have lived it. I can't even like tell you how insane it is to sort of watch the whole experience again played back for you, me immersed in it. But if you guys want like a real tour of the video, this is probably the closest one you can get. They make you dizzy. I'm sorry. It's one of those things. Yeah, I know they're not for everybody. And so that's why I don't plan to only make them, but my plan is to like once a month make one, because I think there are a lot of people who are really enjoying it. And I honestly believe that it's going to be the wave of the future for how a lot of folks try to consume content. So yeah, there's that. Okay. So Morgan, any more plans to cut and mill your own lumber for farm projects? Yes. So one of the farm projects that we have this year that we're planning on is trying to build like a garage barn. It was something I wanted to do in 2021, and just lumber and material prices and labor challenges got too tricky. But I'm working on a way to make it happen for 2022. And so if I were to do that, probably will need to mill some of my wood to help do some of the work. Yeah. Don't lick the camera, Ariel. Exactly. Yeah, I always have to give Ariel. She's always the first one to try to lick anything. Did adding the cows? Not really. I've actually been working to clear out the manure, and I'll probably do a video on how I manage the manure in the not too distant future. It really ultimately comes down to composting properly. In terms of my plans for what I want to try to do, like in like, you know, with that compost, it'll ultimately be for our garden as well as for the trees. Beyond that, actually, the biggest change that I noticed with the cattle is actually the smell of the hay. So we use fermented hay bales, and you know, that to me is actually the biggest thing. That, like, I think I've noticed that smell more. It's kind of a nice sweet smell though, so definitely not a negative. Oh boy, I'm missing so many of these chats. Thank you for the super chats. I know I'm actually missing a couple. I apologize, guys. The chat is going so crazy right now. Between, you know, this might actually be the only time I ever do both the Facebook and YouTube live stream, just because it's gotten so crazy. So I apologize for that, but I'm doing my best. What is your first infrastructure project for 2022? You know, Debbie, I think the first infrastructure project, and it probably won't even really start until May, the two biggest ones and two most important ones, or I guess three of them. Number one, I want to set up a new winter cattle area, and I have some plans. I'm not ready to announce it yet, but that'll be one infrastructure project. The other one is going to be setting up more fencing. So, you know, on the top of the pasture, you know, like kind of back where you see like it says open, all of that right now is unfenced. And my plan is to ultimately try to fence that in. And so that'll be an infrastructure project. But the very first one I want to build is like a cattle chute and handling system. And that's something that I plan on doing, you know, first and foremost. And that'll be something that probably pops up in May. Are you planning on expanding the pasture this year? Yeah, to a certain extent, Texas Roast. So like I said, we have, you know, about 10 acres fenced in right now. My goal by the end of the year will be to have about 35 acres fenced in. And so that will be the first expansion. Then, you know, from there, it'll you know, get bigger and bigger. My goal is over the next 2 or 3 years to probably add a total of about 60 acres of pasture in total that will be fenced in. And some of that's right now forest, but I'll be thinning some of it out and turning it into solo pasture. Okay. How much degrees Celsius is the place where your geese sleep? Well, Liam, it kind of varies. You know, I would say that the hoop coop, so the structure that you can see right here, so where the geese are living, and actually now the chickens are living as well, it's about probably about 15 degrees warmer than where like the outdoor air temperature is. But if I'm thinking about what it's going to ultimately be, like say in the, like, you know, the coldest days, it'll vary based on what the air temperature is. Okay, let me keep up with these questions here. Oh, Sarah, that's a really good point and question. Yeah, I might try to do more of those. I really do enjoy doing some of those like farm history videos. So yeah, I like that suggestion. Josh Van Diver asks, Van Diver asks, is this moonshine? No, this is just water. I just get like a big mason jar because, like, so just give you a sense of, like, so I'm up in my office, which is up on the second floor of the house, like on one end, and the kitchen is on the first floor on the complete other end. So for me to go down and get a cup of water and come back up here, it'd take me probably about 5 minutes. And so, you know, I need a lot of water for these live streams to keep talking so my throat doesn't dry out. And that is ultimately why you see me drinking these big, giant things of water. Okay. Yes, I did install the hay racks. So I think you actually see it in the last YouTube video, Liz a lot, or Liza a lot. Yes, I did install. So Catherine, the bees are doing good. The bees are doing, you know, they're sleeping, you know, and I hope they're doing good. I shouldn't say I know that they're doing good. They are, you know, out there in like the pasture. I kind of did some things to insulate and seal the hives up a little bit. And, you know, that is basically kind of where things are at right now. I'm hoping that they do well. We'll see how they kind of unearth over the course of the winter. So yeah, that is, to answer the B questions. And thank you, Emily. That's where we're at. Hey, what's going on, Kathy, North Star Prep Center? Good to see you, my friend. And I hope you're doing okay. Yeah, I know the weather has been crazy around a lot of different places. We've been really lucky up here. We've had a very mild winter, but no crazy stuff happening all over the place. Hello, Morgan. You should start an Airbnb in your farm, maybe a tree house or room in your house. So I've actually toyed with this one, Yusuf, and ultimately come to the conclusion that I'm not fit to be an innkeeper. I would not do a very good job at it. And so I don't plan on actually ever really doing like, an Airbnb rental. Yes, it would be a way to make money, but it's not necessarily something I want to ultimately do just because I don't want to do that work. I don't know if you guys, I've talked about this a little bit before, but I'm pretty much an introvert. And so to like have to host people and, be on and connect with people on a regular basis, it would be personally draining for me. And so I can't quite see doing it. Oh man, watch me. I'm flying. That's an ambitious idea. I don't think I could do that many streams. It would make my head blow up. I'm struggling tonight just doing the Facebook and YouTube. I probably won't do the joint thing again. Yeah. Do you worry about Allison working around? I caught the Delta in the airborne. I worry for sure, but I also think it's really important and it's really necessary. And I'm really proud of the work that she does, to be quite honest. So yes, it's a risk, it's a concern. She and I take as many precautions as we can. But I also know that you need healthcare providers. You need like a nurse practitioner, somebody to actually, check you out, tell you what's wrong and really kind of see how you're doing and help maybe prescribe medicine for you. And that's what she does. And so you need medical providers like doctors and nurse practitioners and physician's assistants. So I think it's in good, important work. Yeah, Clayton. Number one, I'm hoping to have 4 calves here on the farm later this year. So that's one way I'll be adding cattle, and then the other way I'll probably buy a couple more animals over the course of the spring and summer. Okay. Ooh, I'm so far behind on these chats. I'm so sorry, guys. And I know I'm missing questions. Guys, just so you know, there's a lot of questions coming in, so I'm doing my best to keep up. I apologize if I miss your question. It's not because to anybody who else, please know if I miss a question, it's not because I'm ignoring you. I'm just trying to keep up. Have you thought about making gang police story? Seems like a good gang. Yeah, I don't foresee that, CJ. But it's a funny idea for sure. Yeah, Steven. Like I could try to like turn on my. All right, Steven. We're gonna set a record because I'm never gonna do this again. I'm gonna start live streaming on TikTok too. Here, I can only do that one through my phone. So here, we're gonna do it. We're gonna set the Goldshaw Farm live streaming record as we speak. Going live. 3, 2, 1. See, it's going. And it looks like we're live. Let me flip my camera around. And here we go. So what's going on, good people of TikTok? I'm now live streaming on as many platforms as possible. We'll see what number this gets up to. This is going to get crazy. So Brian, like I was saying, the puppies come in February. So stay tuned. We're getting very, very close. Oh, okay. All right. I knew I was going to get some questions about this. So I figured who was the wacko old man that was in the Hound meeting that said, go back where you came from? I'm in Canada and I think, or California, I guess. And I'm thinking moving to Vermont. Thought of buying a place near a nutty dude for entertainment. Yeah. He's an old timer by the name of Lou. I've actually met him before. Crotchety old guy, that can happen. I know, and I've seen a couple of other questions come in the live chat about the Hound Hunters and what's going on and any new hound hunting stuff. And I think one of the things that has really been sort of the newest, like latest and greatest development there is the Boston Globe actually did a story on the hound hunting situation. And here, actually, let me share a TikTok I made on the topic. kind of give you guys some context.
Ginny Barncat was just featured in the Boston Globe. No, I'm 100% serious. The other day, the Boston Globe wrote a story about our farm and the hound hunting controversy that we've been dealing with. And the story itself was all right. It kind of was a standard take. I feel like it had been written a couple times before. You know, this old-fashioned hunter guy meets a city slicker who posts TikToks and YouTube videos. And my, look at the big controversy that social media can create. But that's actually not the coolest part of that article. The coolest part of the article is Ginny Barncat here stole the show. You see, the Boston Globe sent up this nice photographer lady, and she took a bunch of shots one morning of me working around the farm. And somehow our girl Ginny here managed to be in like half the photos in the paper. And they even called her out by name in the paper. And so now if you do like LexisNexis searches on Ginny Barncat, she's probably going to pop up. And I don't know. I just kind of find that to be pretty adorable. I'm really proud of you, sweetheart.
Yeah, we actually popped up in the Boston Globe, and actually the craziest part was I was actually the story ran as the cover story for the edition last Tuesday, so a little over a week ago, and like you can like see right here on the cover of the Boston Globe, that's me and the geese just featured there, and yeah, I mean it was a lot of coverage. It was kind of crazy that happened. The other thing that I know folks are probably wondering about is the Meat Eater podcast where they mentioned us on, and I'm actually talking to the producer of Meat Eater on Friday, and so I might end up on their podcast after all. So stay tuned with that. But lots of new things coming. Hey guys, I wanted to actually take a minute to let everybody know if you would like a free Goldshaw Farm sticker. So see these stickers that we have like right here, Goldshaw Farm. I'm giving them out for free. And the only thing you have to do to get a free sticker is you got to send us a self-addressed stamped envelope. So that means, you send an envelope inside your envelope and you write your address as the address so that it basically we will take that envelope, and you got to make sure you put postage on that envelope. But we will take that envelope that you send us with your address on it as well as a stamp, and we'll drop in the sticker and we'll send it back. And so you get a free sticker. So all you have to do is send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Goldshaw Farm, P.O. Box 225, Peacham, Vermont 05862. And yeah, that'll get you there. And wow. All right, guys, I think we are setting a record here because I just looked on TikTok, and hey, everybody in TikTok land, we're on 331. So yeah, we are just over 2,000 people between all the platforms. So this is a new streaming record for Goldshaw Farm. If you guys want to actually really boost it up, tell your friends, and let's see how many people we can get here. This is actually kind of fun tonight. And thank you for doing this, guys. I really appreciate it. Yeah, and if you want to see us on TikTok, thanks to Kathy here, you can check us out right there. Yeah, pumpkins are one of those plants that actually grows really well here. We get plenty of water for the pumpkins, so you don't have to water them. If you do them as seed starts, which we typically do, you can get them going pretty good. When is the new help coming out there to help? Honestly, I don't think we really have some. I've got some farm sitters lined up for a couple of trips I have to make. But I don't have any plans to add a lot of employees or anything. I like actually being the guy working on the farm. That's part of why I do this, Hey, what's going on, Marissa? Good to see you. Thank you for saying that. No, we don't have any horses. I don't have plans to get horses. What am I going to do with a horse? I find that the tractor and the ATV are more efficient versions of that. Yes, they rely on fossil fuels, but I don't know. For me, it's not quite it. Oh, thank you for these super chats, by the way. Let me answer some questions here. Hunt, cook, eat, repeat. Thank you, by the way, buddy, for that. Thank you, Wrought Iron Farm. YouTube for Blacksmith Jen Farmer in Chicagoland. All right, cool. Wait, hold on. Where's Hunt? Ooh, thank you for that super chat sticker. And Michelle, just wondering, not trying to be nosy, do you earn money on the lives or just the videos where we watch the money for treats? Yeah, so the money, I don't really earn much money. I mean, as you guys give super chats, it's really nice. That stuff I actually spend just directly, and I give it to the barn cats. Whenever we get stars or roses or any gifts on TikTok. That stuff just always just ends up just going to like, treats for the animals. I earn money. I definitely earn money from like the videos themselves. Like when you watch our videos, that makes a big difference. And so if you guys ever want to support our farm, the best thing you can do is watch our videos and share our videos with your friends and family. That's the single biggest thing you can do to help us. It makes a big difference for us. Yeah, it does blow my mind too. I can't believe people kind of gloss over that. That to me is just absolutely awful. All right, here's Hunt Cook Repeats question. By the way, thank you for that super chat. And great name. Any progress on the ethical foie gras, or is that on the back burner for now with other projects going on? So I tried again this year. So I'm still waiting for some of our perennial crops to get up to scale before I think that's going to really work, is the real honest answer. If in case folks need a little backstory, I am trying to make it so I produce foie gras from our geese. So the livers of our geese developed as fatty livers, not by force feeding them, but by having so many plants available that the geese can't help but want to gorge themselves on it. And that actually is the biggest thing that I'm really hoping to do with our whole bird area. So the area that we have fenced in here, like my hope is that ultimately we can do that. I think it's going to really take my mulberry plants and my chestnut plants getting up to scale before I'm going to actually be able to really have good, solid production. Hey, Kim, you want the address again? All right, our address, if you want to send us anything, or you just want to send us a self-addressed stamped envelope, Goldshaw Farm, P.O. Box 225, Peacham, Vermont, 05862. So there you go. Oh, yeah. Smoggy, thanks for reaching out again. Yeah, I really do want to get this Discord going. I'm probably going to make you do this again. But if you send me an email, I've actually been starting to experiment with Discord, so I feel like I know it better now than I did before. And I'm sure I'm seeing some of the folks on TikTok saying they want to see Discord. Well, hey, what's going on, Johnson from Lindenville? And so, that is an interesting, opportunity. So yeah, Smoggy, if you want to reach out, go for it. And hey, Bill from Hop Farm, good to see you, buddy. So Bill on TikTok is asking the question, when am I going to quit my 9 to 5? And I don't know. I can't say anything about that. So I'm in this tricky position, right? Like when you work a job, you shouldn't be publicly talking about ever wanting to quit your job. I actually like my job. So I'm going to have to no comment on that one, which probably sounds very evasive, but that's not the intention. So would you have enough maples on your land to make maple syrup? Canadian here asking. So we have a handful of really mature maples right around our house. And so most years what I've done is I've actually tapped those trees and produced syrup basically on a home scale. So it's enough for like Allison and me and maybe to give out to like some family. But at the same time, it's not enough to be commercially viable. We don't have a good sugar bush to be commercially viable. And so I don't ever expect it to be large, but it's a fun thing to do at a hobby scale. And so that is where we do it and how we do it. Okay, let me keep getting to these questions. By the way, guys, if you want to, if you want to get your question asked, your odds of getting the question asked are going to be increased significantly if you put them in all in caps, because it's just easier for me to see as I'm going through this. And answer the question on TikTok here. No, I've never thought about, live streaming on Twitch. Where are we at? Oh, wow. We're still about 2,000 people in total streaming. This is pretty crazy. Okay. M. Stacy asks, when did you become a libertarian standing up for property rights like that in Bernie's state? You know what? I will say, generally speaking, I would consider myself a compassionate libertarian, which I think is probably some people seeing it as a sort of oxymoron. But I really do believe that in a general sense, government intervention doesn't typically help on stuff. And if people aren't impacting others, let them do their thing. Like, I'm not going to be the one to be the moral cop or the one to judge and make people do what I want them to do just because I want them to do it, or, see government as a solution for everything. So that's not mentally how I am. That said, I think there's actually certain things that actually we'd be better off collectively if we nationalize. So like I'm a big proponent of like a national healthcare system, like a single payer healthcare system, Medicare for all kind of thing. And the reasoning is this: I see it as like, healthcare as like one of those basic human services that everybody should get. It'd be like the equivalent of, imagine if our society treated firefighting and policing like they do medicine, right? Like, you have a fire at your house and you call up and say, hey, my house is burning down. And they're like, well, let's see what coverage you have. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't have this specific type of coverage. We're sorry, declined. Like, that'd be insanity. And yet I feel like the metaphor for healthcare is kind of the same thing. And so I know not everybody's going to agree with that. And that's probably a semi-controversial stance, but that's kind of how I see it. Okay, let me keep going. Thank you, Tigre Fuego. Yeah, no, I appreciate the understanding, Godzilla. Like, I'm not trying to give anybody a diss. Oh, Kath Dennison, that's such a great idea. Okay, guys, I am going to promote something right now, and it's really for my tiny little town of 700 people in Peacham. And since we got so many people watching tonight, we're gonna do some good here. So I am on a board of a nonprofit. It's called Peacham Community Housing. And what they do is we actually do elderly housing for people here in Peacham, Vermont. We also manage some of the property here for the benefit of the people of the town. And it's just frankly a good organization. I've been involved with it for a couple of years. Well, anyway, we set up a Facebook page, and a couple nights ago on a Facebook live stream, I actually put it out there for folks and asked them to sign up. And it blew up. I think it's up over 150 folks here. I'm gonna paste the URL back in the chat again, so take a look at it. Oh wow, I'm so behind on these things. You can see it right here. If you guys wouldn't mind doing me a solid and checking out that, or just search on Facebook for Peacham Community Housing, it'd be really helpful to me. Okay, Logan asks, do you play video games? A little bit. I try not to because I just run so short on time, but I will admit a little while back, I got an Oculus headset. And so you might occasionally find me on Rec Room or somewhere like that playing paintball. So I don't know if you're out there. But yeah, that is definitely one of the things I do. Where did the My Buddy Alfred song come from? Well, so if folks aren't familiar, number one, I have this good friend here in Peacham by the name of Alfred. He helps me out with a lot of projects. If you guys have seen our videos, you've seen Alfred, and there's actually gonna be a couple more videos coming very soon featuring Alfred. But anyway, Alfred, he like has his own theme song, and where that came from was I actually went on what's it called? Fiverr. And I actually made I commissioned a musician, a really talented guy, to actually make the song. Here's the song.
Fred, he lives on down the road. He's a wizard with machines, a genius in blue jeans. Let's stop and say hello. My buddy Alfred, Vermont's best so-and-so. Bricklaying engineer, surgeon, driving heavy gear. Ain't nothing he don't know.
So that's the My Buddy Alfred theme song. And it just came about really well. But yeah, that was a Fiverr project. That's where that came from. Hey, by the way, guys, if you look at the Peacham Community Housing page right now, it is up to let's see, what do we got it up to? This is gonna be a funny thing at our next board meeting. They're gonna be so confused by this, but it cracks me up. So if you guys wouldn't mind doing it, it would mean a lot to me. What are we up to? Hold on. It is up to oh wow, already 196 follows. So thank you guys. I really appreciate that. Check out Peacham Community Housing right on Facebook if you want to look for it. Yeah. Hey, what's going on, Jacob? It was Jacob's birthday last week, guys, or I think this past weekend. So wish him a happy birthday. Okay, more questions. Let me get back to questions. What other animals are you going to get on your farm? Let's see. What other animals am I planning on getting on the farm? I think someday I'd like to get pigs. I've seen a couple of questions in here asking about dairy. We don't do dairy animals, goats or cattle right now, but I think, potentially I might ultimately get some dairy animals there. So those would probably be the next ones that I'd really think about. But we'll see. Time will tell. Hey, my friend Kaylee, my bee mentor, over at the Homestead. What's going on? Hey, what's going on? Oh, good to see you. So good to see you guys. All right. Carrie's got a great question over at Built on the Rock Homestead. What is the population of Peacham? So our town is like somewhere between 700, 750 people. And so the fact that our Facebook page currently, our community housing Facebook page currently has, what is it now? 233. Can we get it up to, wouldn't it be crazy if we could actually, and then get it up over 700? Like if we could get that page up over 700, there's more people following it than actually in the, in the town. I think that'd be hysterical. Oh, by the way, guys, so we're still live streaming on TikTok in case you didn't know. And for those on TikTok, we're live streaming also on Facebook and YouTube. And I feel like I'm introducing friends here by doing this. There's been a funny question that's popped in here about UFOs and have we ever had to deal with UFOs? And I have never seen any unidentified flying objects around the farm. I've seen some pretty cool meteor showers on a nice summer night, or even a winter night with a clear sky. You can see some incredible stars, but I've never seen a UFO. So there you have it. Oh, everybody loves the My Buddy Alfred song. Daniel, we're going to continue to breed geese and we're going to continue to add more geese. I think probably we'll probably have our limit of how many geese do we keep year round at about 50. That seems about the right number to me. And so that will be where we peak out. Ooh, Coco is asking, when are you getting a new rooster? So we actually, and this is going to be a surprise for everybody. I think I mentioned this on a Facebook live stream, but for folks who don't know, on TikTok and on YouTube, we actually just got a rooster. I'll probably put out a video about it next week. But his name is Buck the Rooster. And I'm not going to give away what type of rooster he is. But yes, we do now have another new rooster on the farm. He was just a recent addition in the last couple of days. How much couple time do you and Allison actually get since you're both amazing? Actually a fair amount. I think, Allison's schedule is one of those ones where it's super intense for 3 or 4 days in a row where she's working 12 on and then 12 off. But then, once she gets through one of those stretches, she will have 4, 5, 6 days off in a row. And then we spend a lot of time together. And so I would say we actually get to spend a fair amount. It's pretty good. I might, if I got a Discord, I would probably tell people on Discord when I'm on, Oculus playing. And if somebody asked me what sort of Oculus do I have, it's a Oculus Quest 2, I think it's a really good headset. And, again, if you want something just to experience 3D videos, it's actually probably the biggest thing I do. I absolutely love it. So there's a question on TikTok here about how many animals how do we come up with the names for our animals? And, really it's just kind of whatever strikes my fancy. I try to, I really try to just have fun with it. Cause I think it's half the fun, of doing something like that. All right. So what's the community housing for? So the main thing is what we're trying to do is make sure that people can age in place here in Peacham. And so, a lot of the houses that we have in our area are old houses that are harder for old folks to live in alone. And so we do have, a problem with elder housing. And so that's the biggest thing that Peacham community housing focuses in on. Why does your wife drive a flat Flatlander car? Because she likes her Flatlander car. You know, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. I'm not going to tell my wife what she needs to drive. So, yeah, that's why. I think, you know, I've tried to push her to get some sort of 4-wheel drive. Maybe that'll change. So we've got the new Rooster. We don't have the puppy yet. That'll be in February. Do any of your flock during the winter molt? If so, put them out during the winter days. So, you know, I'll still put them out if they're molting. You know, I wouldn't hold a bird back just because they're molting. Pretty much all my birds have gone through their molt. In like November, there was I had a lot of October and November. I had a lot of birds who were molting. I don't really have any who are molting right now. So I think I've kind of gotten everybody through that cycle. You know, JK, I'm still not sure how I'm going to harvest all the mulberries. You know, that's one of those ones where a lot of them are just going to kind of fall on the ground. And part of it is I actually want it for feed for the birds. So yeah, there you go. I think TikTok. All right. So Jack, my buddy Jack over at the Mindful Homestead, who is one of our awesome moderators, and you guys should check out his channel if you get a chance. I actually think TikTok is a great place. So just so the folks on TikTok know what I'm talking about. Somebody was commenting about TikTok being a scary place. I think it's awesome. I love TikTok. TikTok is probably the social media platform these days that if I'm just personally bored and want to like spend a little time on social media, the place I will go is TikTok. So I'm with you guys. All right. Just for the record. You know what, Philip? I don't know if aliens make good farm hands. I wonder. I bet they would. I mean, you know, they're industrious. So I think so. Probably. Okay, let's see. What other questions we have? You know, a lot of folks ask us about issues with aerial predators like hawks or owls. To my knowledge, I think we've only lost one bird in the entire 4 years that I've been keeping birds here to an aerial predator. And so it's not, you know, people are always asking me like, how do you protect against hawks? How do you get, I just don't, I just let it happen. And overall, I think we've had good luck. I think having Toby dog helps. I think having geese helps a lot. I think having black chickens actually helps a lot. So one of the reasons why black chickens are really good is there's a theory that like hawks see black chickens and they think that they're crows. And so they stay away. And so I think all of those things actually really help a lot. And so I don't protect much against it. So yeah, I kind of let it go. Diane says, I hope you're not offended. I'm not offended. I'm very rarely offended, guys. So Kiao. I say Kiao. It's more like a joke that I say Kiao. I don't actually, cow is how I would say it if I was just having a conversation. And yeah, I don't think we have any Bigfoots in the area. All right, Gabrielle, you might be the first person I've ever met who says that a rooster is their favorite animal, but good for you. I think roosters are great. I like roosters a lot. So, you know what? So the pond water is not like the greatest to swim in. Like I wouldn't want to like go take a dip in the pond, but it doesn't smell bad. It's not gross. It's not gross in that sort of like it's a little murky, especially gets murky in the depths of summer, but overall it's not bad at all. So yeah, that would be my take on that one. Oh, wow. Lindsay Fisher's coming out there with the deep cut question. So if you guys go back in the early days of our videos, this is like, I made this video when I was still living in Washington, D.C. Like it goes back that far. We had a alpine strawberry plant named Heidi Berries. And so we actually tried to plant her, but she never transplanted all that well, Lindsay. And so unfortunately, we don't have Heidi Berries anymore. Unfortunately. So that's a shame. So Christy, we sell goose feathers, but we only sell the quills. So we will I'll pluck the flight feathers after I kill a goose. And, before we put it in the plucker and scalder to pull off all the feathers, I'll pull off the flight feathers and sell them as quills. I've found that I can't actually sell the down though, because I haven't been able to come up with a way to dry harvest the down. And so that's been the one dilemma I have there. So yeah. So we don't ship anything from the farm, any meat from the farm. We will ship eggs for like fertilized eggs. And so but we won't ship. When we start doing the beef jerky though, we'll ship everywhere. So yeah. Oh, by the way, yes, if you like the Peacham community housing, let's see what we're up to in terms of followers here. Let's check this. Oh, wow, 283 followers. I can't believe that. That's crazy, you guys. You're really running up the numbers. Go on Facebook and follow Peacham Community Housing. We're going to see if we can get it up to 700. Okay. Ooh, this is a good question. Thanks for the stickers. RL got their stickers. Good for you. Yeah, so if I had to take a pick, I would pick Cayugas over Khaki Campbells. We have more Khaki Campbells than Cayugas on our farm, but I actually think that Cayugas are the best duck. Like if you wanted me to say what's the best duck to start with, I would go with Cayugas. I think, runner ducks I also love, but Cayugas I think are pretty great. And so if somebody's just starting out and thinking about getting like geese, I would say that, or sorry, not getting geese, getting ducks, I would say that Cayugas would be my pick. Hey, Morgan, have you seen the goose over at Urban Rescue Ranch? Of course, I'm very familiar, Jackson, with my grandson, Goose, Morgan the Goose. So if you guys don't know this, in TikTok, I think you guys know this. So my buddy Ben over at the Urban Rescue Ranch, he's got a YouTube and TikTok, really funny dude. He runs an animal rescue down in like Waco, Texas, and he has a goose named Morgan the Goose. And his Morgan the Goose was actually hatched from eggs from our farm. So his goose is actually the offspring of my geese here on the farm. And so, yeah, I'm very familiar. I actually sent him the eggs to see if he could hatch them out. So when I first start getting goose eggs at the beginning of the season, like in the early February, I don't hatch them myself because I just can't do it because it's like too cold. Like I'll have dead goslings if I try to hatch them in the beginning of February. And so I will send them to friends who are in warmer climates like Ben down in Waco. And yeah, there we go. So yes, very familiar. Yes, I have named all of my cows. Every cow gets a name. That's the rule here on our farm. Any advice for a 23-year-old city guy that wants to buy a small farm? Yeah, Zach, I think a couple of things. I think number one, before you buy the farm, really spend some time kind of working around a farm and getting used and building up your skills. I think that is one big thing. And I think number two, like think about why you want to do it. And that will help you, actually ultimately kind of find the right path for you to do it. So those would be my two pieces of advice. Hey, thank you to Thomas on the super chat, by the way, who asked, what kind of breed of chicken would you recommend on the frigid temps of the Northeast Quebec? I think Americanas, I think Barred Rocks, I think Rhode Island Reds are all good options. For cold Cochins would also be good. Those would be my recommended ones if you're up in Northeast Quebec. I don't know if Mallory from the Quebec Homestead's on, but maybe she has a take on this as well. Yes, that is actually true. So Heather Claxton is 100% right. My wife and I, we actually really like to play board games together. I know it probably sounds really nerdy, but if we're just hanging out, one of our favorite activities is just play a game. In terms of our favorite games, Scrabble, Uno, Yahtzee are probably the three favorite ones. We don't play Monopoly because we don't want to get divorced. I am a very cutthroat and competitive Monopoly player, and pretty much anybody who ever plays me in Monopoly, and I'm not going to give away my strategy, but when they play me in Monopoly, they end up hating me. And so Allison refuses to play with me in Monopoly. But yeah, Yahtzee, Uno, and yeah, Scrabble are probably the ones you'll see us playing a lot more. Jay Fussy asks probably the funniest question of the night. Are your animal, and thank you for the super chat, are your animals real or animatronics? But in all seriousness, love your channel. Thank you, Jay. I really appreciate that. And yes, they are real. All right. How many animals do you roughly have? I think when I did my last animal count, I think I was up to about 106 after we processed animals and brought our numbers down. So I think it's like about 40 geese, about 26 or so ducks, about 30 chickens, 4 cats, a dog, 5 cattle. All right, guys, I'm only going to take a couple more questions before I got to check out. I'm starting to lose my voice. I can feel it. All right, let's see. Morgan, silly question. Hey, Hope, good to see you. Who sings your opening song? So our theme song, and I'll close out the night. This is actually a good segue, Hope. Our theme song is a song that was written by my buddy Keith Pierce. So Keith is this musician out of the Boston area, super talented guy, and he used to be my neighbor. So when I was in college, I lived in the Mission Hill section of Boston, and in the apartment directly next door was this dude Keith, as well as actually some other friends of mine who are also good musicians and still good friends of mine. And he would play like music all the time. We'd hang out. Well, he came up to the farm a couple of years back. I think it was about 3 years ago. And when he came up to the farm, he actually wrote that song. And when he got back home, he recorded it. And I've used it as the theme for my podcast. I use it as the theme for the live streams. And so that is where you get the Goldshaw Farm theme song, which, in case you guys are curious and you want to hear it, let me just play it for you and wish you all a good night. And thank you all for coming. And I hope everybody has a great night. I'll be back really soon with another farm meeting. I'll also be back for just other live streams. One of the things that you guys might see me start doing is the podcast is coming back. And when I record some of those podcasts, I'm going to do it over the internet. So you guys, I might like live stream them. So you get like just a sneak peek in. I'm not going to announce the times, but it'll just like pop up. So stay tuned for that. But hope you had a great night, and it's been a good night here. And I will see you guys very, very soon.
It's got a soul, this hero farm. It falls asleep inside my arms. We work the fields under the stars. The love is here at Goldshaw Farms. A city life, yeah, had its charms, but we would dream of the fields under the stars. I fall asleep inside its arms. The love is here at Goldshaw Farms. The love is here at Goldshaw Farms.